Well, hello. Welcome to my channel. I want to take this moment and thank all who checked out the video slide that I posted on preventing our seniors from falling in the home. That is a very serious issue because it happens more often than not. And a lot of families just don't know what to do. So I am happy and I am blessed that I am given the opportunity to create a channel where I can share information from the 40 years that I have spent caring for the aging and disabled. So I want to kind of touch on what was in that video slide. First thing is, I think it's very important that caregivers, be it family caregivers or be it non-family caregivers, that there is an assessment or a sweep done throughout the home where that aging loved one or that aging individual or individuals, where they are living, where their day-to-day is happening, where they're receiving their care, whether it's in the bedroom, whether they have their own apartment area, whether they have their own home, whether they're in home with family members, wherever they are residing and receiving care, being cared for, activities of daily living are performed every day. I truly feel it's important that the caregivers, families, friends, who's ever involved in that individual's life, that you go through the home and you look for areas and things in the home that may be harmful or that may be a hazard to them, like area rugs. A lot of homes that I've been into have a lot of throw rugs, okay? And it's okay if you don't have elderly people around in the home, but even if you have an elderly loved one or elderly person you're caring for that's mobile and able to get around very well, you still don't know. So I personally, when I go into someone's home, I'd rather be safe than sorry with the clients I'm caring for or with the individuals I am advising, okay, or advocating for. So throw rugs they're not a necessity for an elderly person, but they're really not a necessity, I don't feel, for an elderly person who uses mobility equipment to help them get around, such as walkers, such as canes, such as uh, even wheelchairs. I have seen where a rug got caught in the wheel of the wheelchair. The person couldn't get over the first time. They were backing up, backing up. So I think in that case, even if they're not using um, assistive equipment to help them get around, a person that walks just fine, if a throw rug is in their walking area or somewhere at their feet and they get up and they could still get caught up in their rug. It could be their slippers, their shoes, because I've seen some elderly people, they don't pick their feet up. You know, a lot of them shuffle. A lot of them just shuffle across the floor. So I feel in that case, throw rugs are not needed, especially in the bathroom. Because if you have an elderly person and they're in the bathroom and even if you are assisting them, even if they have a caregiver assisting them, that's something that you have to be mindful of. When they get out the tub, they're stepping onto these rugs or bathroom rugs that could be slippery when they're getting out in and out the shower with the tub, or even standing at the sink area. You know, if water gets on the floor, and depending upon what kind of bath rug it is or a floor mat, but still, those are the things that I feel that have to be assessed around the home. Then you have areas in the home where the elderly person resides that may not be well lit, you know, like a hallway area, or say they get up and go to the bathroom. And from the bed to the bathroom or from the chair to the bathroom, is that area, that walking area, is those areas well lit. It doesn't cost a lot to stick in sensor lights, or or night lights. Motion sensor doesn't cost a lot. So that's something else you may. Stairs. You have some elderly people still going up and down the stairs, which to me is the worst idea. But in the stairwell, are there lights? Grab bars. Are there grab bars in the bathroom when they're going in the shower? Is there a grab bar for them to grab onto? Like I said, even if they have assistance from a family or a caregiver, these things are still needed. Because even though you're assisting them by holding on to them or helping them in there, they still need something to hold on to while they are making their way in the tub or in the shower. Shower chairs, excellent. Okay, shower chair, grab bars, shower chair. When they get in the shower chair, sit down, get a nice shower. Same thing if they have a bathtub shower combination. You can put a shower chair if they have them for the bathtub. Those are the things that you must think about. And a shower chair can double. Some people like to take a nice little wash off. They don't want to shower every day. And they may want to wash up at the sink. You can take the shower chair, put it on the floor at the sink. They can sit down. Underneath the shower chair, they have non-slip bath mats. Those are perfect to use in the bathroom. So these are things that you have to assess to keep your elderly loved ones safe, even with their assistive devices, their walkers and their canes. You have to ensure that they have the proper walker that is adjusted properly. If they have a walker with the seat on it, so if they get tired while they're pushing their walker, they can turn and sit with no problem. You have to make sure that the locking device is working. You have to make sure that that all the locking mechanisms, that they work, so that walker or hand walker or sitting walker or push walker, it locks in place. You have to make sure that the feet of the walkers, whether it's a cane walker or push walker, that they have the proper stopping mechanisms on the legs, on the bottom of the walkers. Even the wheelchairs. Wheelchairs have to be equipped with safety mechanisms on them. So you have to do these assessments because unfortunately a lot of elderly people do fall in the home and they really hurt themselves in the homes. But if you make their area safe as possible, you can mitigate a lot of these issues. You can reduce the falls and reduce the injuries, even clutter. You may have elderly people who are hoarders and they don't want nobody touching their stuff. But guess what? You're going to have to, because there's no way that they can safely live in the area or home that's cluttered. So if you are the family member, or if you're a caregiver and there's family, or if you're a caregiver and you're working for someone else, you have to inform whomever that this person, place, and their environment is cluttered, because that is a safety hazard. That's a fire hazard. That's all types of hazards when the elderly are surrounded by clutter. You have to, sometimes you got to put your foot down. I know a lot of families, they don't want to make mom and dad upset, so they go along with whatever mom and dad says, but it comes a point where you have to be the voice of reason, and you have to remind your mom or your dad, look, or mom and dad, aunt, grandma, great grandma, whomever, this is what will happen if we do not get rid of this stuff. You cannot live like this. That's the worst. That is really the worst. And then you have to there are other parts of the house that you have to make sure that the heating is good, the AC is good, the electrical outlet's good. I mean, it's a process, but it's one in which will lend a good outcome, when it's done. And those little things for, like I said, the sensor lights, the motion sensor lights, and the walkers, and the shower chairs, and the non-slip bath mats, those are very reasonable. You can get them anywhere, and that's something that you really need to truly think about incorporating in the home for their use if you don't already have those things in the home. So my hope is that someone will see this video, and if not for themselves, for someone else they may know, a neighbor or family member or friend, and you pass this information on. If you know someone that's elderly and they're in a home where they have clutter, or they have throw rugs everywhere, and you see the environment is not safe, oh, please say something. Please go to that family member or whomever and say, look, I think you need to clean this up. I think you need to make some changes here, because from what I just learned, this is a hazard. And preventing falls in the home with our elderly is very important. I mean, taking care of them and ensuring that they have personal care done, meals prepared, medications given, doctor's appointments scheduled and they're taken to in a timely manner, their mental stimulation, engagement, communication, all that's important. But also what's most important is preventing falls, because a lot of times when a person of age falls, sometimes they decline. That is a declining issue for a lot of elderly people when they fall, especially if they break something. Oh, we don't want that. We do not want that. So let's get together on that, okay? Let's get together on that. What I'm saying is what I say to all the families I meet, all the families I've cared for. I've done home assessments on clients. I will go in a home and see things that were out of place and that was hazardous to that person. And I will go to the family and say, look, we got to fix this because this is in the way. Or I had a client who had a recliner. And that was fine, but there was a table right next to the recliner that had a glass top on it, and the table was square. And every time when she would get up, she used the walker. When she would get up, this walking space was so narrow because she had a little fireplace, a movable one that could be moved, like a heater fireplace, the table, her chair. And when she would get up, she would bump that table, and that glass would slide off. And I told her daughter, I said, we have to change this. We have to make some changes in her sitting area. And when I explained to her why, and she was aware, she said, oh, please. So we changed it around and made it so her walking space was clear for her to go to her bathroom or bedroom, wherever. And she no longer had that table glass, which was a hazard, which could have been a true hazard, especially if she had, got up and no one was there, and that glass could have fell off and hit her foot or got in her way of her walker. So it may not seem like much to some people when I mention rugs and lights and things like that. It's very important. It's very important because, like I said, mobility issues will hinder that and will cause them to fall with throw rugs. Even using their walking devices can get caught up in those things. Vision. A lot of older people, their vision declines, they're not seeing as clearly. So visually, you need those things out the way. You need lights to light their path wherever they're going, hallway, stairs, whatever, so they can see clearly. You need grab bars so they can have something to hold on to, because many of them have a fear of falling anyway. So if they have that fear of falling, and you're trying to get them in a shower or get them to step over a tub to get a shower, and they're already thinking I'm gonna fall, so they're panicking and they have nothing to hold on to, and they're trying to hold on to you and hold on to the wall and hold on to. No, you got to have the proper grab bars, long slip mats. You got to have things in place to make caring for them easier, but make it healthier for them. Okay, so I thank you for checking out this video, and there will be many more to come, because I love what God has placed in my life to do, and I love the fact that I can share what I know with you. And this is from my experience, from caring for people. Okay, it's not textbook. It's common sense. Is what I've learned over the years. Is what I learned from being trained. Is what I'm learning from seeking my degree. But a lot of what we do is common sense. You just have to use common sense and think of that person as your loved one. So thank you. God bless you. And I will have links to all the items that I mentioned for you to check out if you choose to. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.